Okay, in this video we're going to talk about your daily operations check. So you might not do all of these daily, but look, it's a good check to do once a month sort of thing, depending how often you're going to use the tractor. So the key point, before you lift the bonnet up to open the bonnet for the to do anything under the bonnet, you want to make sure the loader's all the way down on the ground, just so when you lift it up, you don't get close to the grill being at the front. So we push our joystick all the way forward. Obviously we're not running at the moment. Pull the one closest to the center, right, and then it's on a little gas strut that just comes up all the way. The reason I suggest that you need to have your loader down all the way is because they do run quite close to the front here. So if you've got the loader up, they do run close, and if you're pushing and that sort of thing. So quite a simple, easy engine bay. Look, your main service items and everything all on the other side. I'm on the left-hand side of the tractor now, so the passenger side, but your key points are all on the other side, but there are a few things just to have a glance at over this side. You've got your main hydraulic pumps and your starter motor and your alternator all over this side. So you've got your two hydraulic pumps here, your starter motor, your alternator. This is your supply hose here. There's a couple of little hose clamps on here and here. Hose clamps always bed into hoses. The hose gets hot and cold, it molds into a surface. So usually first service 50 hours, this all gets checked. Look, on the odd occasion we get something that wants a quarter turn on a hose clamp beforehand or something like that. So it doesn't hurt if you're down the track, if you're going over some bits and pieces, to have a bit of a look. You have your battery in the front there. Okay, quite easily identified. Your positive on this side, negative on the other side. You've got your overflow bottle and your radiator cap. Look, you should always check your radiator water at the radiator cap, not at the overflow bottle. The overflow bottles give you false readings. If you ever got a problem in the system, the overflow bottle will say full, but yet your radiator will become empty. It's only if that proper pressure cap's on a bottle on the side, well, that's fine, but predominantly check it at the radiator. It's just safe insurance. You'll never go wrong if you check it there. So as far as we go for oil levels on the tractor, you have a couple of checkpoints. Right, back down the bottom here. Not sure how well this will show you on the camera. There we go. There's a little sight glass here, a little red dot in the center. As you can see, the oil level is just above the top there. Okay. They always put a little bit extra in, which is quite fine because tractors go on angles and it's got to settle into place. So that's your oil level there for your tractor. That does your gearbox, your hydrostatic, your transfer case, your rear axle tubes, your brakes. Basically everything on the tractor other than the engine is your hydraulic oil, and the whole works and jerks. Where you top that up, if you ever need to top it up, is this yellow one in here. Okay, and you'll soon see that everything is yellow as the item sort of thing for you to touch. Same as the car principles. Your front differential. Okay, so same thing. Another plastic cap on here. This one has actually got a dipstick on the bottom of it. So you unscrew it and you can check it, your top and bottom and that sort of stuff. So that's your oil level there. You don't need to check your diff as a daily operations check. The diff gets checked when it gets a service. Same as your cars and your trucks and any of that sort of vehicle. You check your oil and water. The workshop does, your diff oil, your gearbox oil, all that sort of stuff gets checked when it gets a service. And your tractor's no different. You'll check your water level. You'll check your engine oil. You can glance at your hydraulic oil, your gearbox oil at the back there every now and again because it's just so easy to look at. And you've also got your water trap, your fuel filter on the side here as well. So it doesn't hurt to have a glance at that. Make sure if it's filling up with crud or looking dirty, sometimes you'll do them before your service intervals are actually up. So down on the inside here, you can see the little bit of yellow there again. Display the best on the phone, sorry. So that's your engine oil dipstick there. You don't have to have your bonnet up to actually check your engine oil. The round cylinder beside it here is your engine oil filter. You have a little primer pump just up the top here as well. You have a bleeder point on the top of the fuel filter there, but you can also bleed them up at the top where it comes out of the pump and that sort of thing as well. So primarily, you check your engine oil, you check your radiator water, you look at your fuel filter, and you glance at your hydraulic oil at the back. And that's basically your pre-start check done for the day or for the time. Your other oils like your diff oil and that sort of stuff, that just gets checked when it gets to service. Your air cleaner, look, it really depends on what you're doing as how it's going to affect how dirty your air cleaner gets. You're just driving around the paddock, well, it's not really going to get very dirty at all. if you're driving around doing driveways, you've got a load of crushed rock, well, it certainly makes a difference as to how much it's going to block up. So quite simply, there's a clip top and bottom. It just sits in a bit of a U-channel here on the rubber hose at the back. So you can pick that up and give it a bit of angle to help yourself get it out a bit easier. So 2 clips, it pops open, and there's 2 elements that just come out. Now you can give them a bit of a blowout and a clean. Look, you don't want to blow them to bits with the compressed air, but you should be giving them a bit of a clean every now and again. Just they last longer, less expense, less maintenance costs, all that sort of stuff, because it just lasts longer. One of the other key factors at the front here, which is a little bit hard to get in and show you, on the front of the radiator, that's probably the best I can get it. You can see we've got this wire screen here. Okay, depending on what you're doing, if you're just driving around the paddock, it's not too bad. If you're out there mowing the grass, you want to keep an eye on how much debris is coming up and getting stuck on the front of the radiator there. I recommend, look, if you've got a few acres or whatever you're doing it on, look, mow an acre, lift up the bonnet and have a look. You'll soon learn what sort of grass you've got as to how much grass heads and seeds and all that sort of stuff get into the radiator. And look, I've got customers that'll mow 20 acres and not clean it once. I got customers that do half an acre and say, yeah, I give it a quick blowout, because it's just that sort of grass that time of year. Just a little bit of a trial and error thing. But predominantly, if the front of the radiator gets 100% blocked, well, look, the engine's going to overheat because it's got no airflow. Okay, they do have a temperature gauge and all that sort of stuff, but best to not get to the point that you're noticing the temperature gauge going up. Okay, and with the temperature gauge, you will learn where it sits, and it will become a little bit of just general knowledge. You know where it sits when you're using it. You know where it sits when you're using it, and that sort of stuff.